Nope, that was a little too early.
Did we hear a Niner in there? I don't
You know
know.
what?
Niner.
I actually want the 49ers to destroy the Packers.
I thought you
What
said the
is wrong
Packers were
with
going to
you?
beat the 49ers.
I hope that they don't. I hope that they get utterly destroyed. But I think my man Jordan Love might pull it off. And I only say my man Jordan Love because he is a African like myself, and I got to support him. But I hate his team with a passion.
I've always liked the Packers. Unfortunately, they beat my Cowboys, but I've never been a my Cowboys kind of person. So, hey guys, like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video. This is episode 166. We've got a special guest who is back from a long road in the old joint. He only had 3 or 4 boyfriends while he was there. Kash, say hello to everybody.
I'm not saying hello to everybody because that was hurtful.
Hurtful? Why? Because you're sad that you no longer have your special man friends?
Hey, can you no longer have your special man friends? See how mature prison made me?
Well, no. Well, Russo's just jealous because he was posting pictures about you on his Facebook page.
You seen it?
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, guys, do me a favor. What we're not noticing is we're getting decent viewership, but we're not getting a lot of likes and hearts. And I don't know if it's a glitch. Somebody told me that they couldn't hit the thumbs up, so there was issues. So that'll help the algorithm so that after the episode, these keep moving. This is the first time we're going to have Kash talk about politics officially. We're having a political show. We did a little bit with Chad Jackson yesterday talking about MLK. I'm going to ask Kash how he felt about that conversation in a second. But while everybody's jumping on, we just hit the 3-figure mark. So that's good. We're off to a good start. I know a lot of people are watching from Kash's, Kash's YouTube page. We're going to have part 2 of what the heck happened to Kash sometime tomorrow, where both Kash and Casey are available. I was a dick to Casey and left him out of the first episode because he wasn't.
I even reminded you to bring him in. That's what's messed up about it.
I wanted the first episode just us, I'll be honest, because we were at the Capitol together. So I wanted us to get to that point. And Casey, don't nod your head back and forth. There's only
he hates whites.
There's only so many white people that could be in a video. So I see a whole bunch of comments coming through. Kash is only on a cell phone, so he can't see everybody's comments. Oh, see, look at how did that one just pop up? Super weird. He loves cowboys' butts.
Whatever, man.
We got comments from all over the place. Before we get started, if you do want to help Kash get his setup, I think we're over about $1,200 to get everything when he gets out of the halfway house. Make sure you go to helpkash.com. You can just type it out and then it'll go there. Just remember helpkash.com. It also gives the links to all of his platforms. He's posting a whole crap ton on Instagram, even though he has no idea what he's doing. I could tell he doesn't know what a cover is, doesn't know what hashtags is. What's that?
I had to take a post down because I thought I could put music over my voice and it didn't work. And it just posted the music with me like this.
Yeah. You actually you can, but you have to monitor. We'll have to teach him all the. It's like taking somebody that's been locked away for a decade. That's how fast technology moves. Anyways, Kash, I'm gonna let you take the floor for a second. Welcome everybody back. Say hello to everybody and tell everybody what's going on.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Truth Will Set You Free. Also streamed live on my YouTube platform, which is our YouTube platform, which is Kash Kelly the Streetlight. What's going on? I'm here. I just got out. I'm doing well. I feel healthy. I'm trying to get reaffiliated with everything, learn everything, get back to where I was as knowledgeable as I once was when it comes to this whole political atmosphere that we're in right now. Other than that, just being a father and taking care of business.
Can I tell you something, Kash? That video you just put up, about 2 hours ago, and not the It's Raining Men video, but the video where you talked for about 5 minutes about unity. It's impressive to know that you've been locked away for so long, and it's not like you stop talking when you're locked away, but it's impressive that you can have that kind of message, that kind of positivity. And it's very interesting because as we both know, and there's going to be a time where all of us are going to have a conversation where we're all being divisive. It's impossible to not have an opinion and not be a little bit divisive. But if you haven't had the chance yet, after this show, watch Kash's 4 or 5 minute video. It's up on the Truth page shared. I shared it on my personal. And the great part is, Kash, I could share it on my personal because it wasn't political, yet it was very political all at the same time.
Well, you can have divisive arguments. You can have those all day long. The goal is to not let it separate you from the people that are listening. You can have, that's the whole thing. We got to get back to a place where you're allowed to have your opinion, and that's okay. I still love you. That's it.
And you still haven't picked out the shirts you want, which reminded, I'm wearing the OG. I know I'm wearing the OG, the original one that actually was helped feed his family for a bit. If you want to go to the website, go to awakenotwokestore.com. Let's see. I'm going to go and throw that banner up and use cash at discount. That's 20% off. We're still running that cash at discount for 20% off. And anything else, the only things that are not discounted is the cash clothes, because all of that profit goes to cash. Here it is right there. All right, Casey, what's up in your world?
Not much, man. I'm just very disappointed in Republicans showing up yesterday. That's all.
Well, it was. Are you talking about the numbers of people that showed up?
Yes, that's what he's talking about.
14%.
It's cold as hell. We'll talk about that in a second. All right.
Russo's used to that excuse. It's cold as hell.
It was negative 25 wind chill.
It's bad. It's
real
bad. Yo, I'm out here in Chicago and it's freezing. I got ice on my window.
Casey does wear t-shirts when it's like 22 degrees. I saw that in person in Salt Lake. The guy is a absolute crazy, wicked boy band nerd. All right, what else? Oh, so today's topics, real quick. We're going to be talking about Fani Willis and the prosecution against Trump in Georgia and the fact that she was banging the prosecutor that she hired. Super weird. We're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about the Iowa caucus, and no, not the caucus, because that's what Kash wanted to talk about. He's been seeing a lot in the showers. And then lastly, I got a new topic as well. The Musser story, the 50-year-old that passed away of COVID, supposedly, and then now it's a shotgun. Those are the three topics for today that we will be getting into. Without further ado, do you have anything else to say before we kick the tires and light the fires?
Yes, I do. One more thing. At least I was in prison and was forced to have to take those showers. You did it willingly.
That's right. It is episode 166, well over 100 episodes, probably close to about 130 episodes we have done without the Kash Lee Kelly. So he is back today. I just mentioned all the show topics. You know what they are. We're just going to get straight into it. I do want to go to this comment from Kim as we do look at comments as we go. He says, you're still waiting for your shirt. We don't do the shipping. It's actually drop ship, but we could check on it for you, Kim, if you ordered it. Casey's going to look it up right now. We're also live on Rumble. I don't know how we're doing over there, but anyways, it's good to see some decent numbers watching the program. I'm sure it's because I shaved the mustache back, not because of the African gentleman next to me. All right, boys and girls, girls and boys, this is what we're going to do. Let's first talk about the caucus, because that's easy. That's the most current event situation. Then we'll get into Trump. Trump and Georgia. So, Kash, this is your first time getting to watch media, news, all the things out, and the boy that got you locked up. Also, go ahead. So, what did you think of last night's Iowa caucus?
Trump did not get me locked up. Let's just throw it out there.
I know.
Secondly, I thought it was pretty interesting until I was deflated by Casey. But I will say, is anybody surprised? I mean, at this point, come on. And then for all the people that were saying, oh, Vivek is a plant. Vivek was placed there by the Democratic Party. Stop it. Because the man just dropped out and fully endorsed President Trump. Come on. So I think it's awesome. I think the whole thing is pretty cool to watch it all going again. I think it's kind of poetic if you think about it, that I got locked up right in 2021 after the election, where in the election season is where I went viral, or election years when I went viral. We're over here calling the season like it's a playoff game. But now I'm freed in another election year. Ain't that something? That's poetic, man. That is poetic.
I think they were going to do everything they could to prevent that. So really quick, I love the fact it's good to see the streetlights crowd back in the chat. This immediately we have a troll, and that's fine. oh, this is a cult chat and not streetlights, where then Miss Nicole Bullfrog said, not a cult, a family. We are allowed to talk politics, and there will be a time and a place where Cash's streetlights page will not be used for politics. We're bringing people back in, and it will shift mostly over to Truth Will Set You Free. So just to get it.
By the way, to that brother, man, that made that comment, or sister, I don't know what you are, but I just want to say, man, it's all about being able to say what you want to say, you know what I mean, and not be divided by it. So even though you have your opinion, I still consider you my brother, and if I ever or sister, and if I ever see you hurting and I'm around, I'm gonna try to help, because it doesn't matter what you believe; it matters what we do.
Fact on fact. So I've been doing back to the caucus today. I've been doing a lot of radio this morning. I did a Fox News tour and talked a lot about this and at length. And some of the questions were, was it surprising how big the win was for Trump and how important it was? And for those of you watching that want a little bit of truth, the Iowa caucus means nothing. It has not meant anything for over 2 decades. Because the winner on the Republican side has yet to actually be president since George W. Bush. Donald Trump came in second, and then he came in second behind Cruz, and then started making the run in New Hampshire, which came up next. With that said, and I'll say this, then I'll kick it to Casey, who I know has some issues with the Republican Party, and I understand that. I made this reference that it's kind of like Florida State needing to do really well to get in the football playoff. They needed to make a statement. And their last 2 games, they flubbed. They barely won, and that's why they didn't make the top 4. Trump, although knowing that he was going to win Iowa, had to win big. Big would have been 25 or more. He won by 30. I think he showed that the Iowa caucus actually did matter, because it showed there is just no chance for anybody else. And the partnership with Vivek now moving forward, I think that takes away any doubt of that last 4 to 7%, because that all goes to Trump. So I think it was a good strategic move. With that said, there wasn't a lot of votes. It was the least in a long time. Casey, this is where you go. What did you think of last night?
Yeah, you hit it on the nail on the head. Trump did exactly what I expected. I actually expected 60 to 70% for Trump.
Whoa.
Well, he only got 51, so it's not hard to get to 60.
Okay. All right.
So I expected him
70% win.
No, I expected him to be at 60 or 70% of the vote, and he wasn't there. And so, as I said yesterday, is the critical part we need to pay attention to, because we have talked about this numerous times over the last few months, is Republican participation. As soon as I looked at those numbers today, and I'm like, 14% of Republicans showed up to vote yesterday. All of those numbers. And here's another thing that I shout out to Josie on Timcast last night.
Really quick, a caucus is different than a primary, but go ahead.
It's different, but there's still numbers, and the numbers don't change. Let me ask you this question. How many times, well, how to rephrase this question? I'll just state the number. From 2020 to 2024 caucus in Iowa, we actually did 4 times the amount of voters showing up this year than they did in 2020. And we got 14% this year. That shows you how bad Republicans showed up to caucus and represent Trump in 2020.
I get it.
And so when we're starting to look at numbers, yes, there's improvement, but that is not enough to win anything or show that you are engaged. When you are looking at this entire picture, we have been saying Republicans are not showing up. They need to be showing up. They are not.
See, I actually, real quick, I think, and I agree, but it also wasn't. It was a percentage that was off, but there's only a certain 100,000. It was like 100 and something thousand. The other ones were 140, 150. It's not like we're talking 200, 300,000 votes. Again, it's a caucus. It's in a smaller state, and it was also negative 30 degrees wind chill. So I get it, but that is cold. So this is why I also think it's a little bit skewed. Now to go to what you say, Casey, because here's the deal: Trump voters are ultra radical, huge fans, and they will be like, I'm throwing on the gloves, I'm throwing on the whatever. There's no Nikki Haley voters that have Nikki Haley t-shirts.
No.
So I'm just thinking that there is that number might, and I said this earlier too, that number might have been a hair skewed in the Trump camp where that might have squeaked out an extra 3 or 4% for him. I don't think 10%, but 3 or 4% potentially. And real quick to answer the question about I need to stay away from Fox in the comments. So just real quick, it's not Fox News. It is a Fox affiliate radio station, local all over the country. These are the type stations that actually have an effect. These are not like Fox speaking points. Just wanted to throw that out there. All right.
So let me throw this one more thing out. I want Cash's thoughts on this. When we were talking about this, we called this election last night, the primary, at less than 1% of the votes were counted. Do you guys see that's a concern, regardless of who it is for?
I don't. Because
less than 1% of the votes have been counted, and you call it for a person.
So the way that they figure that and they tabulate that is based off of they do exit polling mixed with what counties and percentages off that 1%. They already knew beforehand. They were doing their due diligence to wait by 30 minutes. So they called it. They didn't say that it was a landslide victory. They knew that it would be a victory based off of the first 1%, because technically, I don't know if anybody knows this is another little bit of truth for you guys. When they do national polling, when they say this speaks for the country, I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to quiz you. How many people do you think they poll to get what they consider a real judge of the full country as a whole?
Over 400.
Well, yeah, for the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
Give me I've got a ball. I'm within 200. I don't remember the exact, but I'm within 200. Cash, you have a guess?
I don't know.
Casey, give me a legit guess. Is it 400?
When you're looking at statistics, the goal is to always get over 400, because then your standard deviation comes down to a nominal range. So when you get into statistics, your goal is always to get over 400.
Okay, so it's about 1,200 to 1,400. It's between there. That's where the numbers are. It might be like 1,471 actually. But think about the percentage of 1,471 as opposed to 330 million, or maybe 270 million of age voters. So when you look at 1% and you also have exit polls, you have plenty of information to know that one person is going to win.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Cash, what do you think?
I think, yeah.
So just because of that, like, here's the part that you guys are throwing out. We're accepting this because the person you guys expected to win won.
True.
And so what does this do? This creates an okay avenue that you can already see the other party starting to do stuff like this.
True.
Oh, we're going to just shut it down at 1%. And then the Republican Party is going to be like, whoa. There's 99% of ballots still need to be looked at.
Usually
it's a divisive tactic that they will use in the political arena.
I actually don't think it is. You and I typically agree, especially once you explain things. I feel dumb. This one, I don't, because first off, they were right by a lot. And this is a different circumstance because it was predicting something that was already known. We didn't get a chance to see any of the exit polls that they put together. This is not just them looking at 1%. They measured their specific exit polls. It's also not a presidential race that's going to be close. It's also not about the Electoral College. And if you really think about it, if they would have called the last election early, it would have been for Donald Trump. So I think that this is a topic that would be much to do about nothing, because I don't think it really matters, because in the end, they were not just right. They were very, very, very right.
I see this being used as a tool in the future that is not going to be right.
How would
they're going to call them early?
So they don't have to concede the rules of our government. So like whoever ends up being the Republican nominee, if the Democrats are winning, they don't they don't have to concede until every vote is counted. I mean, Trump still never conceded, to be honest. Right. But fact is, they can. I mean, he didn't. Let's be honest.
I know, but what effect did that have?
The issue then was the transfer of power. But in the end of the day, all of the votes were counted at the end of the day. But they didn't. they wait. They wait. Even though, actually, I had a funny conversation this morning on one of the radio shows where they were saying the great part about caucuses is people have to actually have to be there, and that makes it a little bit more honest. I said, or paper ballots, but the whole idea of weekend at Bernie's, that would be really, really funny because that's the way that the 2020 election would have gone. They'd have just been wheeling bodies in there to do that, and on one side of the room.
No, I just see you're going to have political parties as we start cleaning up the election process. If we don't solidify that process and make sure it's cleaner, you cannot certify an election or say an election is called with less than 1% counted. You just can't.
Well, no, of course not. It's just,
and that's what they did last night.
It's so different. It's a micro.
Very different. It is very, very different. It is very different, bro.
It's different.
Well, we're gonna find out.
So I don't see this being. We have so many other issues. I don't think this is a big issue. Cash, what do you think about Vivek dropping out? Who do you think? And again, I don't know how much news you're even able to watch in federal prison. Who do you think is going to be the vice presidential nominee?
I don't even. Honestly, there ain't no telling, man. He's been so vague about it. He hasn't really given any kind of hints. There's no telling who it's going to be, to be honest with you. I mean, it's up in the air. I would like to see Vivek, but I don't think that's going to happen with what he said on Truth, but who knows?
But that was the lightest thing that he said. Honestly, I was surprised he said it. That made me think that he was actually polling better than 7.5%. I was like, man, maybe Vivek is actually a contender, and that clearly showed that it wasn't. So I'm confused why he said that, but then Vivek immediately jumped on the Trump bandwagon. Casey, who do you think it's going to be?
Everybody already knows. I really think it's going to be Vivek, especially with the video that I showed with Vivek when they were driving in his motorhome down the highway when Vive Free, I can never say his name, the guy from Canada, he interviewed Vivek and asked him this question, and Vivek's like, look, I don't know if I would be his VP or if he would be my VP because I would ask him those questions. I look at him as a mentor. I want him to be able to show me all of the stuff, and then I can take it and run with it. And so that when he did that entire video, and Cash, if you want to go see it, it's on my wall, but it really told me that there might be an agenda for those two to be working together. Trump attacking Vivek just before he knows. Vivek knew he was not going to do very well in Iowa. He knew that. It was too late. He was climbing too late. He was not going to be able to counter anybody. Well, definitely Trump. He was not going to be able to take anything from him. But I was thinking he was probably going to end up in third. I was hoping for second, but he ended up in fourth. Now, I really think that Trump attacking him at the last minute, throwing some small jabs, a lot less than what he said about Nikki and then what he said about DeSantis and Chris Christie. I think it was just kind of a distraction to be like, look, I'm still going to keep it even with everybody else.
What do you think about Nikki celebrating last night like she won? Did anybody hear her quote?
There's only two people in this race, and I'm like, you took third.
Cash, you think she's got a shot at anything? Do you even think she'll have a job in his administration?
At this point, no, not at all. And the reason being, at this point, she's been caught, going back. If you look at all her videos, the things that she agreed with compared to what she's saying she believes now, it's everybody's already on to her. You know what I mean? So, and clearly she even had me at first. Remember when I talked to you and I was locked up? I'm like, hey, I think Nikki Haley's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
And yeah, and now I'm just like, no, Nikki Haley, she doesn't really got a shot in the dark at all. But
the weird thing is she's been surging and she gets a lot of dark money donors, including the Lockheed Martins. How is she surging when, to me, I was like you in the very beginning, I was like, what's so bad about Nikki Haley? And now I'm like, oh, that's what's so bad. She is literally as bad as the Republican Party can get. And now she's doing better.
Okay, but that's the reason with that is money. She's got a lot of backing from a lot of people who give her a lot of support and switch the minds of people who are, pretty much controlled by their thoughts and their narratives. So it's not a shock to me that, people still kind of, lean towards Nikki in some type of way, because they're not leaning towards Nikki. They're leaning towards the people that are backing her.
Can I ask an honest question then? Because this is something that we never have the conversation, and I'm curious. We say that she's got all this money and that helps her get votes. How? How does that work? We talk about how you have people that will then convince people to vote a certain way. We know that there is only about 5, maybe 10% of people that are going to be swayed in any direction. How does money somehow, and this is the same reason we go, how is Maxine Waters still in Congress? How is
It's not
Mitch
the money.
McConnell? Like
It's not,
how are all these people? They get a shitload of money, but nobody can stand them. How is it that buying? It's literally, to me, it sounds like buying votes because nobody's being convinced that Mitch McConnell is not a Moscow-looking turtle.
I'll give you an example.
Turtle-looking.
When Barack Obama was first running for president, I was a part of the Local 17 Heat and Frost Insulators. Right? We had a union meeting, and at the union meeting, they wanted everybody to be there. So when we get there, they are literally telling everybody, "You're going to vote for Obama. You've got to vote for Obama because of this, and this. You have to." So if you can take that and multiply it by all the different unions that were in America at that time, and being told by their union, this is just the union that I'm talking about, you have to vote for Obama. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with them, and because I disagreed, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know who I'm voting for yet. And they're like, no, you know who you're voting for, Obama, plain and simple, and that's that. So it's not the money, it's the people that they're giving the money to or who they're backing. You get what I'm saying? So now you have an agenda and they're like, listen, we need you to tell all your workers, or we need you to tell all your farmers, or we need you to tell all whoever, this is who they're voting for, and tell them if they don't, the earth is going to catch on fire and everybody's going to die and 12-foot aliens are going to attack Miami.
And believe
they did. They attacked them all, dude. They attacked them all.
Yeah, maybe they did.
When it comes to the money,
not see the video, Casey, of was it Brazil? Something weird is going on. I don't necessarily believe something weird is going on though. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Casey.
No, when it comes to money, it's just influence, right? And when you're actually showing up, politicians know how to talk to people and they persuade people, they manipulate them, they get them to go in their direction. And money helps them travel and get in front of other people. And that's all they're doing. And Fox News even had a video clip of I don't even know who this guy is. Oh, Andy Sabin. I don't even know who this guy is. But he said, if you want to watch the clip, he said on Fox News, Nikki Haley has a lot of Democrat money and donors.
True.
And that is where it's coming from.
Well, I understand that. Yeah. It's a Cash explain. I mean, you explained it. That's still a lot of votes to flip.
It's not just that. Think about this. She's got the backing, I would think, because of her statements. She's got the backing of the LGBTQ. She's got the backing of women because everybody wants to see a first woman president, and she kind of aligns herself with, feminism. If you listen to her
a little,
yeah, she's vague with it, but she hints at it.
But that's Democrat. But I think that
she's pro parent choice. It shouldn't be left up to the government. It should be left up to the families when it comes to like mutilation and all of those kinds of things. So, I mean, it's not really hard to think of why she's got the little bit of support that she does have. And I think it could shock us, honestly. And when it comes time to see who's going to get the nomination, she might actually surge up a lot. You know what I'm saying? But
she can't be his pick, though.
No, definitely not. Definitely.
And yeah, Gully, I get, and I get that money buys ads. I don't see, and Cash, you did explain it pretty well, but I don't see somebody sitting on their couch and seeing a slam ad and being like, oh, you know what? You're right. Nikki Haley's my girl. Like, I just don't see that. I don't see the ads working. I see what you just said. I see that making a lot of sense, though.
There's a lot of people, bro, that hate Donald Trump, even in the Republican Party. Okay.
Fact.
I'm not talking about within the actual politicians. I mean, in the Republican base voters. Okay. A lot of people hate Trump. And I didn't realize that until now, being out and looking at all the stuff. I see a lot of hate. And I'm like, whoa. So honestly, if you want me to be totally honest with you, when I think about all of this, I kind of think that this is all kind of smoke and mirrors. I think that they want us to believe that Trump is doing fantastic with the base so that he will run because they're going to pull Biden out at the last minute and put somebody else in who's going to potentially win.
That's
the theory that I've had with the things that I'm watching thus far. I could be wrong. I'm still looking at things.
Yeah, we haven't had the chance to talk about that, but that's what we have, but you and I have not. Casey and I both agree. Casey, you agree with me that we think it's going to be Newsom that'll be the Democratic candidate?
I don't.
Well,
Newsom or Big Mike.
Oh my goodness.
It's more widely accepted to call her Big Mike these days. But anyways,
I'm not partaking.
That's swinging anvil right there. We've seen it. So Kash, who do you think the Democrat? Because the Democrats have a rule in their bylaws that the DNC could put up whoever they want up to 6 weeks at their convention. They could pull the okey doke, which is I think that we could do much better going against Biden than anybody they'll put up, because we won't have a chance to campaign against them. But who do you think, if they were to slap somebody up there, who do you think it'll be?
Okay, I got two things to say. If they were going to try to run somebody in the Democratic Party, I don't see any good candidates. I don't see any. I will say this. This is not talked about enough. RFK is doing his thing right now. Doing his thing. I think he might be the one to go up against whoever the Republican nominee is.
But he's already left the Democrat Party. He's already an independent.
Exactly. I think a lot of Democratic voters are upset right now and might be leaving the Democratic Party.
So you're saying that
instead of voting Trump.
So that you're okay, but so you're still saying that those votes would be pulled from the Democrat Party?
Yes.
So either
because
way,
they're
that's
not going to have a good candidate. Ain't nobody voting Newsom in. I don't care how likable he is and how nice his smile is and how charismatic he is. They look at what he did in California and they're like, ain't going to happen. But another thing, what if there's not even going to be an election? Because I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. We are getting involved in some real sketchy shit, bro. We are starting shit with people that we ain't got no business starting shit with. And it could cause a big war. I don't want to say which war, but we've had two other wars like the one I'm thinking about. And if that does happen, he can invoke an act to where the sitting president stays in office. That's another possibility. And I feel like that's why we're getting involved in a lot of the shit that we shouldn't be getting involved with, because they know Joe is not going to win. They know this. They know it. If it comes down to Trump and Biden, Trump's going to wipe the floor with them.
But there could be issues with Newsom because we're not going to have a chance to dispel the narrative of what Newsom is, because he is polished. He's a great speaker, but then you have to look at how bad his policies are. And I don't think 6 weeks is enough time, especially with early voting.
So wouldn't it be smart to do it now?
No, it would be. No. It'd be better for us.
I mean, for us, wouldn't it be smart now to dispel all the things?
Oh, agreed. We should already be talking about it. 100%. I think we should be saying, just in case Joey Basements doesn't make it, this is why you got to avoid this candidate, that candidate. And I think we have to. Then the leftist media will say these people are insane.
There should be a big old commercial that comes out that says, if the Democrats decide not to put Joe in office, who would they run? Would it be Newsom? Boom, 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 bullet points. This is what he's did.
I agree.
Would it be Michelle Obama? Boom, 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 boom. This is what her husband did. Will it be whoever? And just give the bullet points of, I mean, this isn't hard, but this is why when it comes to the politics now, I think it's all honestly, I think it's all a big sham. I really do. I think it's all fake and it's all not real when it comes to all of it. Just saying.
Yeah, the thing you got to, it's like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Vivek called it out in a debate 3 debates ago. He said the Democratic Party needs to stop with this game and put up who they're going to be putting up that the Republican Party is going to be running against. He flat out said that. Mm-hmm. And then the Fox News messed with his microphone after he said that, and he had a squeaky voice for the remainder of the debate, just like what they did to Ron Paul back in early 2000s. This uni party, like what you're talking about, Kash, this is a disaster for a system. They want to put up who they want to put up, not who we want to elect. And that is where this system is important, that we all show up to vote. And that's why I focus on participation. We have to be focused on participation.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So then what's the solution?
Unity amongst the people, because it's obvious. I mean, you look at the way things have gone, man. Look at the things the things that have gone on for forever now, right? When it comes to politics, a person gets in office, one side's happy, one side's not. Another person gets in office and it flips. You know what I'm saying? And it's all like a game to keep the people bickering about something. But once the people come together and say, you know what, we don't care. All right, we're gonna look out for each other. We're gonna make sure that this is what it is. Look at what they do. What was it? Germany? Germany, they got it going up right now. France, they had it going up too. They're on strike and all types of stuff. How come America can't do that? We could come together to burn some shit down, but we can't come together to take a stand and say, you know what? Prices are too high. We're not buying from anybody who's not a small business. You know what I'm saying? We won't come together on a level to where we're all like, you know what? We're both getting played. Democrat, Republican, we're both being played right now. Everybody in this country is getting screwed.
Which is why they wanted to create the narrative on January 6th, so conservatives would not ever come together at that large quantity of people ever again.
Yeah.
That's true. And here's the thing. So this is an interesting comment, and this is something that it needs to be important to talk about based on what Kash said. The problem with Trump is he is somebody that is not good at bringing the both sides together, and that's not necessarily his fault. Some of it's his, some of it's the media. Biden's worse, but they cover Biden in a different way. Biden is very much like those MAGA Republicans. They're deplorables. They're terrible. No. But Trump, go ahead.
Did you listen to him last night? His acceptance?
Well, that is the shift that he made. He needs to stick with that shift, and then the Republican Party needs to back down against him and go, you know what? If you want to be that guy, we've got your back. Let's do this. That's how you're going to do it. The problem is I don't see the Nikki Haley's of the world backing down because she's bought and paid for by the people against him. So I think it's a push-pull mentality, and it's a little bit tougher than it sounds on paper to just unite. But I think it would have to take a new version of campaigning Trump that is all about, if he wants to make sure that he solidifies that middle ground vote, is I'm going to get back at the bad politicians. I'm going to get back at the corrupt parts of our government, and I'm going to speak for both people. He's already done a good job with the abortion topic on finding somewhat of a middle ground so that he doesn't lose that abortion vote, which none of the other Republicans understand how important that is to win an election. So I think that there's something to be said there, but there's still some room to go.
That's another thing, like that issue. They focus on these little issues like that, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And especially with the conservative side of things. I'm pro-life and there should be no abortions, but I enforce the death penalty. Come on. Let's just be real. Come on.
I just don't think it's, so I'm pro-life for myself, but I
can't have an abortion, so I don't have a fight.
Wait, no. The government says you can.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
This is why we don't let the government think for us.
Exactly. All right, real quick, because we've only got about 23 minutes or so, we'll let the show go. But the one thing I want to say when you talked about World War III, I want to touch on that topic. I might be chopping up a little bit. I see my internet slowing down. So I actually, is it chopping? Yeah, there we go. I'm back. So I was having a conversation with one of my clients who has a lawyer that is in the circle. He was actually in some of the meetings at one point with a certain president. And now he still knows people in the circle. And when on October 7th, when Israel got invaded, or whatever you want to say about that day, he texted me, said, "What are we thinking?" And all he wrote back was WW3. So this is a guy that knew when the coup was coming. He had bought a bunker that year to live on his own. He bought it in 2019, like December. These people know things in advance. And all he said was this. And like you said, will we even have a vote? I've been saying that for a while. People think I'm nuts. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have a vote, to be totally honest. But that's the end of that topic. Real quick, one of the sponsors I want to talk about is the water that I always drink on every show. Here it is right here. Century H2O right out of the spigot. I know we've actually had like 4 people buy these. 4, count them 4, $300. It's 10% off if you use Russo 10% off. That's how you get that Century H2O. And again, it's an under sink filtration. This is the guy that went to East Palestine and was able to get all of the crap, their glyphene, glycol, whatever the hell it's called, got it all out of the water, and it actually tastes really good, adds oxygen, lasts for a whole calendar year. So, cheers, CenturyH2O.com. All right, next topic. We are talking about Fani Willis. So Fani Willis, if you guys don't know, allegedly still at this point, although it's pretty obvious, hired her lover as a special prosecutor in the Trump case. And this is going from our last discussion about the Trump situation, because I think the biggest issue Trump was going to face for all of his persecution and prosecution was Georgia. There's 91 counts. And this is where when I look through it, there's a couple things he could probably be found guilty of, even though everybody in politics would be found guilty. There's a couple things in there that look bad, but Fani Willis making this kind of mistake and impropriety, she paid $650,000 to this guy, Nathan Wade, who, by the way, was married, I believe. He's now in divorce proceedings. Let's see. I'm reading through the actual article on it, but at the end of the day, this guy was paid $650,000 and he has no history, zero history of felony prosecution. So she essentially just hired somebody that she was sleeping with. And then she has the audacity. Did you see the clip of her at church?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God. Yeah. We are held as Black women.
Always go to race.
Hell, and she goes, and they're gonna say this is about the race card and and she went on and on. It's like, we're not asking you to be perfect, but you hired your fucking lover that's unqualified to prosecute in one of the biggest cases in the history of our government. This isn't like, oh, you know what? I stole a carton of eggs. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, we're gonna lose his audio for a second. Yeah. Yep. We lost your audio. Come back in. Go in and go out. You got a phone call.
So check it out. I got to say this, right?
That's what happens when you have 13 baby mamas. Anyways, go ahead.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Just go out and come back in.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I got to say this. All right. Fani Willis, this is the problem. This is the problem. If you can have a secret love affair with the guy that you appoint to be the prosecutor, what secret conversations did you have when you were having your secret affair? Simple. Simple. Conflict of interest, anybody?
We cannot apply logic. We're talking about racism in America and the government. You cannot apply logic. So what we have to look at is what she said is you cannot expect a Black woman to be perfect and to save the world.
What the
hell?
That
is exactly what she said.
What the hell? I was confused. I had question marks in my head. Like, what the hell?
That's a good shot of him. Isn't it a good thing for Trump if the guy isn't qualified? So the way that this case works, it's not like he's working alone. He's got like a team. You can't hear me. Go in and go out. Go in and go out. I shouldn't tell him that.
He doesn't know that either.
He'll be right back. What is this? Pillow talk? I just threw my mouth. But so let me explain this real quick. So he's got a team of people. They're all working together. But fact is, this is one of the drivers of this is the paperwork guy. This is not the guy that's going to make somebody win or lose. There's plenty of people that can do the best they can. Trust me. So it's not a good thing. It's a good thing that this happened because this should end all of the bullshit in Georgia. All that'll be left will be the insurrection Jack Smith charge, which
is falling apart too. That's slowly starting to come out that all of the stuff about Jack Smith is he is not qualified and does not have the position to be able to do what he's been doing. But with Georgia, the big thing with Georgia that we just don't know when this is going to happen yet. I haven't seen it. This could get drawn out for months. And that's one of the worries that I have about the situation is they got to force this to come back into court and start talking about this within court like ASAP.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
Sorry.
Gully, you're not wrong on this, by the way. You are right. He does have some experience in RICO cases. This is a RICO situation. However, he has zero experience with a specific felony. So you're not completely wrong. Gully, you've had a couple decent statements. Go ahead.
No, wait a minute. Come on. I understand that. I'm not disputing that fact at all. But again,
What you know about RICO cases?
I know all about a RICO. Let me tell you. Listen, it was a secret love affair, appointed prosecutor who may or may not have had secret conversations about the said prosecutee.
Yeah. Which happens all the time. Let's be very clear. But this one, it's not supposed to. It's definitely not supposed to. So unless they believe that they're like in the TV show Suits where they can completely stay separate, which we know that that's not really fucking true. So I didn't make this. I think, did you ever watch Suits, Cash?
I have not.
Casey?
I know a little bit about it, but I did not watch the whole thing. No.
So I figured out today on one of my phone calls that Harvey is Donald Trump. Trump is Harvey. And then Mike, which is the younger guy that's got a photographic memory, is Vivek. That's why I think they'd make like this perfect kind of team. The problem is I do think some of the other side thinks that Vivek is just a dark-skinned Trump and could be bad. All right. So we've got 12 minutes left. Let's be quick. Let's kick the tires on this last. Cash, we need to figure out how to put you on Do Not Disturb. Who's calling?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, swipe
Man, I'm
down.
getting thrown up. I got to get on the visual after this in front of DCDOC.
All right, well then let's wrap. We got 5 minutes. Let's wrap it up real fast. All right,
Okay.
Let's do this. Last article, if anybody saw this, this is just weird to me. We're talking a little bit about COVID. I do it at the end of the episode because God knows if people hear it at the beginning. So if you didn't see this guy Musser, Alec Musser is an All My Children actor. He was the guy that was in the movie Grown Ups that had the 18-pack abs and was like, "Oh, I'm from Saskatchewan," and they made fun of his voice, and he was really good. He still was in great shape to the day that he died. A couple days ago, there was an article out saying that his wife found him slumped over in the bathroom. They didn't say anything else besides that. And she said in the article, this is the first time they answered the question. In the article, he was battling a very bad case of COVID, but he was vaccinated and double boosted. This was in the article. Nothing else was said about how she found him. So today, and this is why our good liberal friend Jay Kennedy is saying that I'm now full tinfoil hat. This is the first time we've had the question answered in the article that he was vaccinated and boosted for a sudden death. Today, it's released that he died of a self-inflicted shotgun wound. What is that? Is that? Do you have a little crunchy thing going on, Cash? Anyways, it sounds like his peen was eating a Snickers bar or something like that. Better now. Can you hear us? Now he can't.
No.
What?
No audio.
No, you can't hear anything. One more try, and then we'll have you wrap up the episode. But that's it. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. Casey, do you find this odd to me?
It's very odd. None of it makes any sense. Like, really? But when you were questioning, when we were talking pre-show, can someone shoot themselves with a shotgun?
In the chest?
Yes.
Like,
it can be done.
It
can be done.
I think that's hard.
It depends on the shotgun. My
True.
shotgun's not very long.
My shotgun's shorter than Cash's shotgun. I get it.
What?
Nothing. But anyways, do you think that this is a tinfoil situation, Cash, or is this like, why the hell would they change it 2 days later for the first time? Like, yeah, sometimes we wait for information. Why would they have already? Why would the fiance that found him, that clearly gave up all the information, why wouldn't she have said he killed himself and because bad case of COVID? I don't know. Something doesn't make sense.
Because maybe he was having depression dealing with COVID, which led him to do what he did. Rest in peace to the brother, because I enjoyed you on All My Children.
I get it. I would believe that in something like this, the Pfizers and Modernas of the world have enough money to make sure because it's not like his career, he was never a multi-millionaire. It's not like this isn't something that his fiance and maybe his family, I don't even know if he had any kids, his fiance couldn't be like, so you're going to give me $10 million to say that he was shot in the chest. And I know that now I'm getting conspiratorial, but this doesn't make any sense at all. She wouldn't do it for nothing. She wouldn't just lie for nothing, I guarantee you.
Yes, she would. Maybe she was lying because she was embarrassed that her husband or fiance, killed himself. Maybe
I doubt it.
That in the
or maybe she wanted life insurance money.
I don't know. That's going down some deep paths right there. I don't know. All I know is that I understand how things can happen because remember, 5 officers passed away because of January 6th. Rest in peace to those officers. I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm just saying, even though they didn't actually pass away on January 6th, because of January 6th, they passed away.
Right. And the guy got hit with the fire hydrant and then died multiple days later from the
fire extinguisher. Russo, love words.
No, I'm picturing a huge fire hydrant. Why not? Last thing for you guys, then we'll have we'll sign off a little bit early, which is good because I need to get dinner and I got a million things to do. And Cash has to go to the vigil. The last thing, since we just talked about the COOF, thedrartisshow.com. Use BFD at checkout for 10% off. That's thedrartisshow.com. If you did get the jibbity jab, there is stuff on that website to get rid of these spike proteins. So just go ahead and check that out. Go to the website. Also, now that apparently it's COVID season again, there's things like Doc's Viral Defense that I take almost every day, vitamin C, selenium. Just go on that website. You'll learn a little bit more about about Dr. Ardis. He'll tell you what to take. thedrartisshow.com, BFD at checkout for 10% off. Cash, any final words on your first show back?
Yeah, no, not at all. This was fun. I'm still relearning, guys, so bear with me. Didn't mean to offend anybody if I did with my little humor. It's dark. That's how I cope. Yeah, hope you guys have a great night.
Your humor is dark like your skin. Casey, before you sign off, tomorrow, let's set it right now. When do you guys want to do part 2 of What the Heck Happened to Cash? What time is good for you guys tomorrow night so people that are watching know?
I probably got a couple classes in the evening, so the earlier the better.
Oh, you got evening classes tomorrow?
Yes.
How about do you want to do? Can you do? Because Casey works too. How about 5 o'clock?
Cannot.
4 o'clock.
I can do earlier tomorrow.
3 o'clock.
How about we shoot for 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. We could.
And we're talking Central Time.
Central
Time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you do noon your time, Casey?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and it's only going to be 30, 45 minutes. We're doing short bits of this. So we'll be back tomorrow with that. Casey, go ahead and final words.
Pay attention to your local elections. You guys are going to hear about it from me for the next 45 days because here in Utah, our legislature, bye Cash, just barely started. And so I am now looking at all the bills and everything that is being proposed. And some of it is garbage. So everybody, please pay attention to what your local legislature is doing.
What you said. I'm going to give Cash 20 seconds to get on because I thought we were going to get to do the Unite Don't Fight to end the show. And I got a gut feeling he's not going to come back on. Oh, I just realized I didn't even thank these people. I did not see them. Thank you, guys. Sorry. Yeah, Teresa, I appreciate that. That'll go to Cash, of course, which just so you guys know, YouTube takes about 40%. So if anybody does want to give anything to Cash to get him back set up, it is helpcash.com. If you go to our store, I'll put that on the bottom banner real fast. You can buy any of the gear on the store and you use Cash for 20% off. Portion of that goes to him. If you buy the Cash actual merchandise, every bit of it, the discount doesn't work, but every bit of it will go back to get him back on his feet. Thank you for all the support you've given him over the years that he's been gone, him and his family. That's about it. That's what we got for you guys. So just say Unite, Don't Fight. That's it. We can't really do it without him.
No.
So it's not as fun. We'll save it when he could do it. And we'll do it for at the end of tomorrow's show. Anyways, take it easy, guys. God bless. Have a fantastic evening. Thanks for watching. Like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video. Deuces. Casey, Jiminy Crickets.
Yeah, that all came from your mic, and it is obvious.
That is not true. I can smell that from here.
Yeah, you're in Dallas.
Oh, gross.
You're gross.
Maybe it was the squirrel. No?